Alam nyo ba na 3 beses nang nakapunta dito sa Pilipinas si Cardinal Robert Prevost na ngayon ay si Pope Leo XIV. At itong San Agustin Church sa Intramuros, Manila ang isa sa mga lugar na pinuntahan ni Pope Leo XIV dito sa Pilipinas. Makakasama natin si Father Peter Casiño, isa sa mga pare dito sa San Agustin Church, para pag-usapan si Pope Leo XIV, ang unang Agustinong Santo Papa ng Simbahang Katolika. Father, balikan lang natin yung kanyang pagbisita dito sa Pilipinas. Ano po bang mga taon siya nandito, Father?
Pumunta siya dito noong 2008 to bless the seminary. Tapos ang cardinal noon ay si Cardinal Gaudencio Rosales. Nagsama sila sa misa and then later on sa mesa. So we shared a meal together. Yun ang naalala ko noong 2008.
And then he also visited 2 more years, right, Father?
And then 2010, dumating uli siya. That was the time of the intermediate Augustinian chapter. So when we say intermediate Augustinian chapter, representatives from each of the nations where the Augustinians are present, they send a representative. So Augustinians from all over the world came here to San Agustin. And our prior general at that time, Father Robert Prevost, he celebrated the Mass here in this church. So ngayon siya na si Pope Leo XIV. Time naman, he came to bless the apostolate section of the seminary. And at that time, ang cardinal na sa Manila was Cardinal Tagle.
So nakita sila ni Cardinal Tagle dito sa Maynila.
Tapos napansin ko, parang magkakilala sila, matagal na sila magkakilala ni Cardinal Tagle.
What do you mean, Father?
Yung before they met here, magkakilala sila eh. Yun ang parang napansin ko sa kanila.
Father, what does it mean to be a prior general of the Order of St. Augustine?
So to be a prior general, according to the rule of St. Augustine, first of all, you have to be patient with all the members of the order. And then to be a prior general is also to be one of the brothers. Kaya lang the prior general is also like a father, that he should be loved like a father. So ganun ang role ng prior general. So mainly it's a relationship that is human. And then pagkatapos nun, yun ay mga administrative aspects of governance, ganun. Pero ang unang-una yung harmonious relationship.
In other words, Father, Pope Leo XIV was a prior general, meaning he was the head of the Augustinian Order worldwide.
Worldwide.
And ilan po ang mga Augustinians worldwide, Father, and in the Philippines?
Siguro more than 2,500 worldwide. Ganyan.
Father, before I proceed, what is the Augustinian Order?
So the Augustinian Order, it traces its origin, it traces its way of life to Saint Augustine. He was born in the year 354 and he died in the year 430. So he was living in the Roman Empire. Ayun. And then alam natin his lifetime is towards the decline of the Roman Empire. So nagkaroon ng invasion dun sa lugar niya in North Africa. So the members of his monasteries were scattered. Yung iba pumunta sa Spain, yung iba pumunta sa France, and yung iba pumunta sa Italy. So that was the start of the Augustinian way of life dun sa Europe. So we trace ourselves, our spirituality or way of life, dun sa in-establish niya nung time na yon.
Since Pope Leo is an Augustinian, we're curious to know, what do Augustinians do? Who are you?
So the Augustinians, we work for harmony. According to St. Augustine, the first reason why we exist is to live in one mind and one heart on the way of God, on the way to God. So ibig sabihin, isa lang ang pinagsasaluhan namin. So for example, we share in the one word, yung the word of God. And then we share in the one bread. So isang pinagsasaluhan lang, but the members are very diverse. So parang ganun yung buhay natin. Yung isang pinagsasaluhan namin, that is what gives us our unity. So kung ba the source of our unity is not only something human, but it is the word of God and the bread of life. Yun ang source of unity namin. So hindi lang dahil magkakasundo kami na because of sympathy or sentimentality, but it's really grace, a kind of grace. That is the source of unity.
And Father, Augustinians are sent to different parts of the world. You were sent to Africa, tama po ba?
Opo. I was sent to Africa in 1998 and I was there until 2004.
So, as an Augustinian, how do you remember Pope Leo as your prior general, especially because you were in Africa? It was a difficult mission.
Okay, so I remember him in Africa. He was there in the year, I think, 2001. So we were together in an African gathering in Durban in South Africa. And that's where I observed his simplicity. Namamasyal kami, simple lang yung mga pinupuntahan naming lugar. And then nag-uusap lang kami sa may hagdanan, ganun. Ganun. Tapos sinasabi niya maging mabuti kami sa isa't isa, ganun. Simple lang, wala nothing nothing highfalutin naman sa sinasabi niya at sa kung sino siya. Just like being one of the brothers. Kaya nga I parang I'm still adjusting to say Pope Leo XIV. Kasi siya pa rin si Father Robert Prevost. So ganun.
Meron po ba kayong specific anecdote o memorable experience with him?
Wala namang masyado kasi he is the kind of person who does not call attention to himself. Parang hindi siya nagiging bida. Ganun. Pero minsan when there are plenary sessions tapos may sinasabi siya, nakikinig kami lahat sa kanya. Pero yung specific na sinabi niya wala na rin akong naalala. But mostly he is just peaceful and quiet. But the time he speaks, nakapokus talaga kami sa kanya kung ano sinasabi niya. Ganun.
Father, how did you feel when you learned that your father, Robert Prevost, is now our Pope Leo XIV?
So I was happy for the Augustinian Order and I was happy for myself and for the church. Happy for the Augustinian Order kasi we trace our way of life back to St. Augustine. Tapos ngayon lang nagkaroon ng Pope. So maybe it's time na we have an Augustinian Pope. Siguro because of the situation of today's world.
Where were you when it happened, when it was announced that he is the Pope?
So I was here in Intramuros. And then mga 1 o'clock I was in bed. And then I woke up because of the noise of my brothers. So they were cheering and shouting. So ganun.
And then,
I just remained in bed. And then when it was time for mass at 6 a.m., I celebrated the mass. And doon ako yung napaiyak doon sa mass.
napaiyak kayo.
Napaiyak ako
Bakit?
while delivering the homily. Kasi naisip ko yung very ordinary lang kasi siyang tao eh. Kaya ang naisip ko ang napaka-ordinaryong tao pala, pwede pa rin siyang maging pope. That's what ran into my mind. Doing ordinary things like eating, walking, pwede pa lang maging pope yung ganun.
But he was a cardinal already. He was the prior general. He was occupying high positions. How was he ordinary for you, Father?
Ordinary in the sense of being an Augustinian brother. Because I really have no experience of him as a cardinal. Because he was a cardinal in Peru, di ba? So, hindi ko alam kung anong context na doon. But I was able to visit in Peru the seminary where he was assigned. So it's a very practical and functional place yung seminary nila. So ganun, simple lang din.
Father, a while ago you said that it is a gift that we have an Augustinian Pope at this point in our history. Can you tell us more about it? Why did you zero in on the historical context?
So the historical context, because we are in a world that is already advanced, and but there are still conflicts and wars. There's still a lack of harmony. even in this very advanced world. So I think we are supposed to know all the solutions, but the world is still somehow in disarray. So maybe there's still something lacking that we have to work on. And this work, we don't know kung kailan matatapos. Ayan.
How
So
do you,
there will always be this restlessness, but in the midst of the restlessness, there is also peace because of people working for peace. Ganun, ganun.
Father, the Augustinians focus so much on harmony.
Harmony, yes.
How will this help a world in the time of Donald Trump and a lot of the world wars happening around us?
So harmony and peace, it is not it is not also the kind of peace in the grave, but it is the kind of peace in ourselves. And when we are at peace with ourselves, we can face the restlessness of the world. Hindi yung magulo ka sa sarili mo tapos harapin mo pa rin magulong mundo. So dapat you are at peace in yourself and then you face the world that is wounded, the world that is suffering a lot. So ganun, from peace you face yung mga ganun. Hindi yung yung napaka-violent mo, na galit ka ganun. And then you face mga taong galit din, destruction na yun. So parang ganun ang Augustinian charism.
Father, my last question for now. Listening to the Urbi et Orbi speech of Pope Leo, how did you see the Augustinian in him?
I saw the Augustinian in the first statement when he said, "Peace be with you all." So doon na lang. So it means that that is his direction, that there will be peace, and this is what we call siguro peace of mind. Kasi the environment can be very chaotic, but if you have peace of mind, ang mahalaga meron tayong peace of mind. Kasi we cannot control the outside environment eh. Pwedeng magulo yan, but inside us we have this peace. So kaya he said, La pace sea con tutti voi. So parang ibig sabihin rin nun siguro, with each individual, nandun yung peace. Sa puso ng bawat tao, nandun yung peace sana. Ganun. So evangelization is to make people realize na there is that peace within them. Na minsan nabablind lang o nakakalimutan because of so many distraction. Tapos ang isang significant pa na sinabi ni Pope is, with you, I am a Christian. So this is a statement of synodality, meaning he wants to walk with us. With us, he is not a Pope. With us, he is a Christian. He is one of us, with us. Tapos meron mang, for you, I am a bishop. Yun ang words ni St. Augustine eh. So, with us, he is one of us, but for us, he is a bishop, meaning he sees the whole situation siguro. For us, he sees the whole situation, and then he can direct us with our consent, kasi he is with us also as a Christian eh.
Father, habol ko na lang before we end the interview. In the 3 visits of Pope Leo to the Philippines, how do you think did he feel about Filipinos?
He is not really much siguro about how he feels, kasi selfless siya eh. So yung what he feels, I think it is not that important to him, what he feels. But syempre, he is also someone with feelings. So we feel that he has a burning heart for Filipinos. And then that he likes to be with Filipinos. Kasi I heard that one of his staff in the Dicastery of Bishops may Filipino dun eh. So he wants to rely on Filipinos for the work of evangelization. And I can say, although it's not so much on the basis of feelings, but he loves us in a deep way.
Why, Father?
Because first of all, he always prays for us. Yeah. As a pope, di ba, he will pray. You cannot pray without love.
And he has visited the country 3 times.
Yes, 3 times. Oh, yeah, he has visited. So, and then we are, of course, we we wish that he visit again.
Papal visit na ngayon.
Visit.
Thank you very much, Father Peter.
Okay, welcome, Paterno.
So, sana raw mag-papal visit si Pope Leo dito, pero hindi natin inakala noon yung tatlong pagbisita niya sa Pilipinas noon ay parang papal visit na rin. Santo Papa na nakatuntong na sa Pilipinas noon pa man. Nako, sundan natin yung liderato, yung pamumuno ni Pope Leo XIV sa Simbahang Katolika. Ako po si Paterno West Makel. See you again.